Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 1,000 Mile Coffee. You're riding along with David.
I'm Jason.
And again, we have Matt on the phone.
We got the fluffy one.
That's right.
Yeah, his nickname is. How did you get that nickname anyway? Because I've heard people call you Fluffy, Big Sexy.
There's a story. Do y'all want the story? I'm not sure if
Story time.
I can.
Story time.
Oh Lord. All right. I'll try to PG it as best I can. When I drove,
Please do.
When I drove with the flatbed company,
Right.
out of Des Moines, Iowa, we always went out, whether it be to get something to eat.
Hold on a minute. Before you tell this story, is it going to get you in trouble with Mama?
No, because it's in my past. She knows it's in my past. I mean, Mama's got
Okay,
a
we're
past.
good.
I got a past. We're good.
Yeah, but I mean, we do know how women are, or
I know.
women can be.
Well, you're the one that made that comment. I didn't. So who's getting in trouble now?
I stay in trouble. I mean,
Well, I do
you
too.
know, everybody says you better be careful. She'll put you in the doghouse. I mean, I got a permanent residence there. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, man? My comfy blanket's in the doghouse. I go.
Hashtag single life.
You hush over there.
Right, you can't weigh in on that one. Well, I don't know. His mama puts him in the doghouse, and that's that's the one woman I definitely wouldn't want to make mad. But either way,
I saw that episode. She's tough.
Yeah, continue on there, brother.
No, when we go out to eat, when we go to the bar or whatever, I don't know. Being in the Midwest, for some reason, those girls out there are pretty enamored with the Southern accent, Southern guys, being the Southern gentleman, being nice to them because they don't get that out there. And me being a bigger guy, I was the big teddy bear, and they always flocked to me, and the guys would wonder how in the world I could pick up these women. And I tried to tell them, and it turned into Big Sexy from there. That's the way it ended up. And then not long after that, for some reason, they got changed to Fluffy because I was so big, like I told y'all before, how big I was.
Right.
And I mean, I was still picking them up, but one girl called me her Fluffy teddy bear, and it just kind of
That's where it stuck at.
And it stuck, and I've been trying to get rid of it for years, but whatever. It is what it is, I guess.
I don't think you're going to get rid of it.
I know I could be 120 pounds right there, and y'all call me Fluffy. So whatever.
Fluffy. Well, but that's your name. That's
It
your
must
name.
be.
All right. Well, all right. Last time, last episode there, we were talking about your dietary needs.
Yeah.
Now you manage it on the road because you said you do your
Grocery shopping.
Excuse me, that Bang energy drink's making me burp. You do grocery shopping, like David said.
I do.
And that's what I do. I very rarely do I eat out of a truck stop or try to. I do a lot of chicken, a lot of pork chops. I throw my stuff on the George Foreman grill. I have, the Uncle Ben's ready rice, the Bob Evans single serving mashed potatoes. Libby sells single serving green beans, single serving corn that you just pop in the microwave. You just vent it, pop it in the microwave, and that's typically what I eat on the road. And then I make ham and cheese sandwiches and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's pretty much what you do, right?
It is. Now, one thing, I try to stay away from as many carbs as I can, so I kind of got to limit myself on bread and pasta and rice, which rice is the one that kills me because of family and genealogy and where part of my family, because there's rice at every meal.
Right, because part of your family's Cajun, ain't they?
Yes. Now, the one thing that I have found to kind of alleviate that is I like vegetables. A lot of people don't, but the rice cauliflower, the steamer bags that you can get from the frozen food section at, Lowe's Foods or Ingles or whatever the local grocery store is. Green Giant has those steamer bags with butter or cheese already in them. You pop them in the microwave. They're good. For the bread thing, I've gone to where I get, I think it's, shameless plug, the Mission Company has tortillas that you can make wraps out of that are actually carb controlled. They're a lower carb count.
I was just about to ask.
And even a slice of bread.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, do they make like a carb-free bread. I mean, I know they make gluten-free bread.
They make carb-free bread, but you know how cardboard smells after it's been soaked in water for a couple of days.
Yes.
That's the way that stuff tastes. So let's not get into that.
Well, I mean, the gluten-free bread. I mean, the good thing is, if it doesn't work for your sandwich, you can always use it on the outside of a space station for re-entry.
Yeah, but I'm kind of fat and I like my gluten.
I was going to say a hockey puck.
You know,
I mean, you know.
Yeah, right. That too. But yeah, we you know, in fact, my wife found those tortillas and they're great. They actually don't taste any different than what it would. And plus, you've got a big 10 or 12-inch tortilla right there, and you can put, you know, build your own wrap, however you want to do it, and it's more filling than a sandwich would be. And it's convenient. You can make them up, put them in sandwich bags, little Ziploc bags, put them in the refrigerator, and, you know, grab one going down the road.
Get it and go. I know several years ago, I went on and it worked. I lost, in the short time that I did it, I lost like, I don't know, 40 or 50 pounds. And that's what I pre-cooked chicken, and I stuck it in, I didn't have a fridge or nothing. I put it in my, one of them Coleman coolers that you plug in that keeps it 30-some degrees below the ambient temperature. And I would just pull, like I took a chicken breast and I'd cook it and I'd cut it up and I'd make salads at night with, oh Lord, I didn't use lettuce. I used spinach leaves. And of course, you know, I had, you know, my green and red peppers, my onions, cucumbers, you know, all that stuff in the salad with the chicken, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of ranch. But my lunch would be, I would half those chicken breasts and I would put the spinach leaves on there with all the same things that I put in the salad and put it in a wrap, with a little bit of ranch. And I did that for a while until my cooler gave up the ghost, and it took me forever to buy another one. Then I had gotten out of it, and I'm just now getting back to you're right. And I'm just now getting back to trying to get back on my diet like I was, or at least do something to lose weight. Because I mean, everybody watching this sees I'm not a little bitty guy. So it is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Do that again.
No.
I guess what I'm trying to say is it is not easy on the road, but it's not impossible. You just got to prep and plan.
Yeah, trust me.
Go ahead, David.
Go ahead, Fluffy. No, you go first. You're the guest. I'm not.
I don't care. I'm just being nice. No, I've got a bunch of friends that you know, diabetic and non-diabetic alike. Some of them are drivers that they live off chicken and broccoli, and I could probably do it. I just like something a little different every now and again. And these people either maintain their weight or they're losing weight to a healthy level, a healthy maintenance level.
Right.
You know. So, and there again, chicken, it's a white meat. You know, it's one of those things that's going to have, you know, fewer carbs and that kind of thing in it than a piece of red meat would, or, you know, a pork chop or whatever. So
that makes sense. One thing I'm going to look into doing, because my grandmother used to make spam patties, not spam. Why did I say spam? Salmon patties. She would take canned salmon and she'd open it up and she would fry them in the in a frying pan, and they were blur in a I just flipped them off, but in a frying pan. And she used grease and all that stuff. And I know that's not healthy, but with the George Foreman, I've got to look into seeing if I can do that just to change it up. And I know that fish is probably the healthiest of all meat that you can eat.
That's what they say.
Well, I think the best you could do that, Jason, but the biggest thing you've got to find is some way to bind it together. Because when she fries it, normally the breading on it would hold it together. Versus if you're going to do...
well, no. What I'm saying is, I'm not a chef by no means. I can cook. It ain't necessarily always good, but it's edible. But you can...
All right.
You can... I'm thinking, do that with like some flour and just patty it out and just flop it on the George Foreman. No grease or nothing. It should still hold, wouldn't it? I mean, hell, you're the culinary expert here.
You realize how long it's been since I've done any professional cooking?
You've never done professional cooking. You know,
You
More
looked in the
professional
mirror
than
lately,
you.
Bubba?
right? No shit. But I mean, hey, I will admit this guy right here. When he decides to put his. I mean, he wanted to go to school to be a chef. Wanted to go to a culinary school, but when he actually does decide to cook something, it's good. Yeah, it's real good.
I'm still waiting on that lasagna I've been promised for the last 2 or 3 years.
You promised him a lasagna?
I don't remember promising lasagna. I remember promising you
What was it then?
my meatloaf. I never promised you the
I
lasagna.
did.
It's
I
the
did.
meatloaf, not the lasagna.
I had that
Whatever.
just, like a month
It
ago
sounded
you made
tasty.
it?
A couple months back, I made it for you because I'm on series number 3 of trying different things where I'm pre-cooking the vegetables, or I'm pan frying the stuff in the bacon grease and then kind of combining it all together.
Oh, it's
before
not.
cooking.
I'll go ahead and say, we're talking about healthy things here and trying to stay healthy on the road. You eat his food, you ain't eating healthy, I promise you.
Yeah,
But,
well.
oh, it's so good.
Well, hey,
Got
they're
one
healthy
follow your
enough because instead of doing when I cook my meatloaf, I don't do it in a giant loaf pan because I found it's just a complete bloody mess. Your best way I have found to cook the meatloaf is, and this is the way I've done it, and you agree it's worked out pretty good because it's great for guys to take and go. And this is actually kind of a helpful hit for anyone here is when you're is muffin pans. Cook a meatloaf in your muffin pans, little cupcake pans, because you get the little single serving meatloafs, and they're just the perfect size. You throw a couple of them in a sandwich bag, you take it to work.
Yeah, they were quite delicious. Okay, we're getting way off here. All right, let's
Yeah, I was about to say, we just kind of cut off on that rabbit trail
right,
there.
right. So let's circle back here and recalculate to where we need to be. But so there's where was we at? Okay, yeah. So we're trying to,
Somewhere.
yeah, right. We just, you just need to. It's not impossible, but it is more difficult. It's not easy.
It is.
It's
It is. Like I was saying before, the biggest thing you got to watch is read the labels. I mean, they're there for a reason. Look for the lowest carb stuff you can find. That's still going to have some kind of taste to it. Just because you're diabetic doesn't mean that you have to be miserable at mealtime for the rest of your life. You can
right.
still find things. Seasonings don't have many carbs, if any, in them. If you use a respectful amount, don't go overboard with the butter, or the cheese or anything like that. You can still make stuff taste good,
Right.
but you just got to get in that mindset that you've got to limit yourself too. And it's like I said, low carb, higher protein, and watch the sodium.
Okay. Well, that seems pretty simple.
It is pretty simple, but the hardest thing about it is getting in that mindset of, hey,
The discipline.
this thing, the discipline of it. If you don't want to turn into a type 1 diabetic, which they're not allowed to drive trucks at all,
now,
then keep it at a
type
on the
1 is
kilo.
in type 1. See, I don't know.
Type
but
1 is
isn't it where
insulin
you
dependent.
you gotta be on an insulin pump?
Not a pump, but you are insulin dependent.
Not necessarily, but you're on insulin dependent. Sometimes heavy doses of insulin. My grandfather was actually a type 1, and he had a military discharge because of it.
Oh man.
When he developed it, yeah. So it's easier to control now than what it was back when he got it in the 70s, I think it was. But it's still a difficult thing to live with. I know people who have it. I know people whose children have it, and it's just as stressful on the parents as it is the kids.
Right.
So it's one thing that definitely needs to be watched. But I'm lucky and blessed enough to have just type 2. I don't want it at all, but if I had to end up like this, and I've got type 2, which is a whole lot easier to manage, it's a whole lot easier to control, and it allows you a little bit more freedom to do what you want to do. It doesn't limit you as much what you can do.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, that covers. I'm pretty sure that's going to cover the whole
The dietary side of it.
dietary side of it. Now, Matt, we're gonna wrap it up here, but I want to call you back again next time.
That's fine.
A while back, we talked about accidents. issues on the road, how your family can deal with it, things like that.
Right.
And I know that you went through something, and I'd like to call you and talk to you about that on the next time, if that's okay with you.
Y'all can call me anytime you want.
Just don't call you late for dinner, right?
Not late for dinner. Never, ever. If you see me right now, you know I was withering away, man. I feel like I'm late for
Right. I mean, you turned sideways. I couldn't see you no more. It's like a sheet of paper.
dinner. Well, man, I think my tongue out. I look like a zipper full, man.
Oh,
thinking about
we
that,
can,
ain't
we
I
can
know.
go somewhere on that, but this is a family-friendly
Right,
show.
I started,
PG,
yeah.
all that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna-
The zipper is all the way up. How about that? Okay.
I started to say something. I was like, ooh, no.
It's all the way up right now.
Easy there, baby. Easy down, boy.
That was David.
Easy,
All right,
either one,
bud.
down both of y'all.
All right, we're gonna wrap her up right there. We'll get Matt back on another episode.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for turning in. Thank you for
Turning in.
Well, we're making a left turn off into the rest area. We're gonna take us a
You
break,
make
and
it.
we'll come back to
Hey,
it.
man, you go to rest area to the left. Most of them are off to the right.
Right.
Well, there's a
that's-
couple of them that are off to the left.
Oh God! You know the best part here is this isn't blooper. I mean, you think, oh, he did a blooper, we'll fix it. No, we're not fixing this. And this is
Thanks,
him in
driver.
real life. I mean, we're riding down the road, and he comes up with some. Yeah. Anyway,
Your adoring audience doesn't know that we have.
This is
phone
below
calls
the
like this
table,
every
so it
day.
doesn't have to be blurred.
This is every day.
right. All right, y'all. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll get back with you on the next trip. Everybody, keep your greasy side down.